Hello, everyone. I see the room filling up here. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Program Coordinators, Time Management, an Essential Skill for Top Performance with Melissa Molina-Trinidad. I'm excited to present this opportunity to bring the GME community together, and I thank you all for being here today. I look forward to introducing you all to Melissa here in just a few moments. Please note today's presentation will be recorded, and I will send the recording out to everyone who registered today. I'll also share it in my next nationwide program coordinator e-blast next week, so you'll all have that link. You can share it as you'd like. If I haven't had the chance to meet you at the ACGME conference or present a didactic day course to your program, I'd like to go ahead and introduce myself while everyone is logging in. My name's Ashley Pichard. I am the Program Relations Manager here at Practice Match. Before joining Practice Match, I was an in-house physician recruiter, and in that role, I developed a true passion for helping physicians in their journey from training to employment. And at Practice Match, I get to take that passion to the next level by offering career guidance and mentorship to physicians from medical students preparing to apply for residency, all the way through helping residents and fellows find their dream job. Practicing physicians also come back to us when they are re-entering the job market. We also offer free resources to programs. These resources include program professional development webinars, of course, didactic day courses for your programs on CV prep, interview prep, contract negotiation, red flags to watch for in recruiters, and more. We have a free CV builder and offer free CV review. We have scholarships. We also have career fairs, both live and virtual. So if you see us in your city, please come, bring your program. These events are fun. There's free food. There's an open bar. It's a great networking opportunity for everyone. We also do offer physicians gift cards for attending these and sort of incentivize them to work on their career search. So when I'm sending you those emails about career fairs, please go ahead and forward those to your program. We also have education and webinars on contract negotiation, student loans, financial planning, immigration, and so much more. So keep an eye out for those notices. And of course, we have our nationwide job board with over 20,000 physician jobs on it. So if your program is interested in any of those things, please reach out to me. Remember, everything we offer is completely free. So in addition to our program coordinator webinars, we also do free resume review for program coordinators. So if you are looking to take that next step and you'd like an extra set of eyes on your resume, please feel free to send that my way. Everyone who is attending this webinar today will receive a certificate of completion. So that is automatically going to go out within the next week. Keep your eye on your inbox for that. And if you are someone who registered, couldn't attend today, and you watched the recording, you would like a certificate, that's fine too. Just email me at apichard@practicematch.com to request one. That is APOSHARD@practicematch.com. Please keep an eye on the chat box today. I'm going to be posting some helpful links during the presentation, including a link to our next program coordinator webinar. You can mark your calendars now. That's going to be September 3rd. It is titled Program Coordinators, If Not You, Then Who? And that is with Jennifer Cassidy. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in anytime. I will be helping Melissa monitor that chat. We have 2 chat boxes today, so please utilize the chat box for any feedback and the Q&A box for any questions that you would like answered. Now let's go ahead and dive into our presentation and meet our speaker. Melissa Molina-Trinidad is a highly accomplished professional with extensive experience in graduate medical education and a strong commitment to healthcare, medical education, diversity, equity, and inclusion. She currently serves as the Senior Residency Program Coordinator for General Surgery Residents at Columbia University Irving Medical Center in New York City. In this role, she plays a crucial part in the management and coordination of the residency program, ensuring that residents receive the necessary training and support. Melissa's leadership roles and active involvement in various healthcare organizations highlight her dedication to advancing healthcare, medical education, and the importance of representation and mentorship. Thank you so much for joining us today, Melissa.
Hello, thank you so much, Ashley, for the introduction. And thank you all for attending this fabulous webinar. I hope that you engage and get as much as I can provide for you. So let's get started. So time management, an essential skill for top performance, which of course, us in the GME leadership world, we are aiming to be top performers because we are leaders. Conflict of interest disclosure, I have no conflict of interest. And the objectives of today. So we're gonna talk about successfully tackling on the day by setting up a plan. If you already have one in place, I'm gonna discuss on different ways to enhance that. Essential tips on time management skills and how to improve on your delivery, and maximizing our productivity and achieving success in both personal and professional endeavors. I'll be touching on both. So first things first, we are in the GME world. And if you are not aware of the ACGME deadlines, please, it's super important for you to already have these on your calendars. Of course, we know that some programs and deadlines may vary, but as long as you have it on your radar that it's upcoming, that is how it's going to prepare you for success. So this is just an example from the ACGME deadlines of important dates, such as, deadlines, the start date of like the National GME Census. So this is something that we all do. Of course, residency and fellowships differ, but for the most part, we definitely need to have this on our radar. And, we should actually be ahead of the game, be in preparation of what's to come, because we all know that our calendar fluctuates. We have our high peak, we have our low peak. And as long as we are being proactive and utilizing our time effectively, this is how we will lessen the burden, lessen the stress by planning ahead. I would like to touch on the topic that we are currently here. We are in June, so the ACGME accreditation and the recommendation that ACGME basically states that we should be on at this point of our program. Granted, this is just an example of ACGME. Every program, every institution has little tweaks, do things a little bit differently, but as long as you have these key components already set up, you are already one step ahead. Now, prioritizing tasks. What does that mean? We have to first identify what is the most important task that needs to be completed by what time, as well as, I'm not sure if you are aware of the Eisenhower's urgent important principle to differentiate between tasks that are urgent, important, both, or neither. Now, I will personally say I am very active and quick with my responses. So to me, a lot of the things tend to be urgent. Unfortunately, that also can deplete me and wear me out when I should focus on the important, as well as task on as to what is really urgent, as well as what can be pushed off to a later time. And I am sure I'm not the only one that encounters this difficulty, but I will challenge you to entertain me with what's this Eisenhower's urgent thing. This is an example of what it entails. The Eisenhower Matrix is a productivity tool named of US President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was known for his ability to prioritize and task effectively. It helps individualize categories and prioritize their tasks based on their urgency and importance. For example, quadrant 1 states urgent and important, tackle these tasks head on. It's like there's a fire, embrace the challenges and conquer them to stay on top of critical deadlines. Quadrant 2, not urgent, but important. Here lies the secret to long-term success. Dedicate time to this quadrant and includes planning, personal growth, and relationship building. And it invests in strategic thinking and proactive actions that propel you towards your goal. Quadrant 3 is urgent, but not important. Beware of distractions. while they may appear urgent, these don't contribute significantly to your long-term success, and it minimize or delegate them to protect your focus and avoid unnecessary stress. And then we have quadrant 4, which is not urgent, not important. Bid farewell to time wasting. This low value task drains your energy and hinders your progress, and eliminating or limiting to create space and meaningful work. And I know that in our GME world, a lot of the things are important, and I'm sure that we have experienced or encountered just, random things coming to us as I need this today, or I need this ASAP. When in actuality, let's say the deadline is 2 or 3 weeks later, and you have other tasks that you need to adhere to. So it's basically sitting down and figuring out, where does this fall underneath everything that you already have set up or had already put in place. This is an example, a digital example of the Eisenhower matrix. If you are into Excels, this is an Excel list. And if you, like me, like checking off boxes, this is a great tool to utilize. So what is important is suddenly urgent, and what is urgent is suddenly important. This is an example of the Eisenhower matrix that us coordinators could utilize to see how it best fits in our game plan. SMART goals. We always talk about SMART goals, but what does that really entail? You have to be specific with what exactly are you trying to achieve. Make sure that it's measurable. When will you know when you've achieved it so you could check off like that, the progress? Is it attainable? Is it genuinely possible to achieve it or not? Is it relevant? Does it contribute to your to your GME program? And time bound, when do you want to achieve this by? When I set up my SMART goals, I tend to time bound myself in a stringent time because I just want to ensure that it gets done as quickly as possible. Has that worked in my favor? Not so much. Sometimes I can get by, but the reason why I want a time bound is because I want to make sure that that project or that task is completed either ahead of time or just because I know there's going to be more things that are going to be piled on. And I just want to make sure that it is handled appropriately, is handled effectively, and is handled ahead of time. When I look at deadlines, I don't see it as that's the day I'm going to submit. That is an example of that's what is asked, but I want to submit it ahead of time. Just in case, there some things that need to be changed before the hard deadline, I always give myself and the residents a deadline much earlier just to ensure that everything is set in place. Creating a daily plan. I am a lover of agendas. I still don't think I found my favorite agenda. I've tried multiple agendas, but at the beginning of each day or night before, make a list of tasks to be completed. I know for myself that at times I have a lot of things going on in my head, and I sometimes forget to write it down. And so it lingers in my head. And sometimes I'm thinking about work in my head, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But this is a great tool to put into practice because it alleviates your mental space because you already know that you are set up for the day, the following day, because of everything that either had rolled over or because you know what's upcoming. So the goal of today and the things to do, and I will say for me, the funniest thing would be I can create my list for the day. And funny enough, throughout the day, things get piled on and I won't get to my list until the end of the day. And I end up completing it, but I just find it to be funny that here I come prepared to tackle on my day. And of course, our GME world, our days are never the same. And things just tend to happen quickly. But the good thing is that at least it gets done. I just find it funny that I come prepared and then just I got a monkey wrenches thrown at me, but it's just, I just find it actually very important that if you do not have a daily plan, you are going to be going in blind, and you are not going to know how to navigate and choose how your work is going to flow. And then by the time you know it, it's already 5 p.m. and you feel like you haven't accomplished much, or what you were supposed to accomplish actually got pushed back because everything else that got piled on. So this is definitely a tool that I suggest, if you haven't tried creating a daily plan, to try. You might feel like it's a little tedious because you might say, I know what needs to get done, but I love checking off the box of it getting done. I don't know if you do, but this is definitely a roadmap for your daily success and to track it. So use time management tools. I don't know about you, but on social media, I always get this motion app, like deliverable, like saying, try this out. Motion is a great digital tool. I know some of us like paper, some of us like digital. This is a digital opportunity to try something different that leverages technology to add calendars, to-do list, task management, productivity tools. So Motion individual is $19 per month, biannual is $34. And task management, project management, automated scheduling and planning with AI, calendar management, meeting booking pages, meeting booking templates, one-click email assistant, desktop and mobile app, and a dedicated customer service. I do not work for Motion, but I see how this can really help someone that has a lot going on. And as you see, Motion has personal and professional involved. So if you haven't tried it, they have, I think, a 1-week free trial to see if it's the right fit for you. But this is something that when I tried to connect it with my work email, it didn't, which was something that made it difficult for me. But if my email did work with this, I probably would be utilizing it. Another time management tool is Trello. Trello is more for those that manage others or work with members. So in members, everyone is accountable, and you never have to ask who's doing what, because the team has access to and reports as to where they're at in their project. Due dates are actually placed on there, comments, feedback. You can add attachments to it. And there's also a checklist to empower if you feel overwhelmed. And this is also a great tool that I used when I was in an organization and we were working on a project. We divvied up the project, who was in what group, and we were able to track how far along we were going in movement. So if you work in a team, or if you are, looking to enhance certain features or to work collaboratively and to track it to see, this is project management, definitely this is a tool to use. Now, this is practicing personal time blocking. Create a morning routine to set your day off to a great start. Block it off, commit to it. I have, and it has done wonders for me. I started working out in the morning and I started, meditating. So for me, it was like I would wake up early and that was my time. That was my wellness opportunity. Everybody is asleep, and you don't get the distractions of social media, your phone, texts, because mostly everybody's asleep. This is a great opportunity if you haven't given it a try. Morning routines do give you the best chance to set up your day for success. And as you can see, the practice personal time blocking talks about the morning, but at the same time, what other things you have going on during the day, whether it's a personal business, whether it's personal time with your family, whether it's just you planning something, break it up so that you're clear as to what the time frame is, and you basically see a momentum going. And also others get to respect your time because you have it blocked off. Now, this is practice time blocking. An example is for work, allocating specific block times for different activities or tasks. A lot of the times, I don't know about you, but sometimes we work through lunch. That is not healthy. It is not productive, but it's because we just want to get it done or because we're in the moment. My suggestion would be to block off your lunch. If you haven't already, block it off your calendar so that no meeting gets thrown onto your calendar, because that is your time to decompress and to enjoy your lunch and to socialize with coworkers or other coordinators. By blocking off your calendar, once again, it doesn't allow others to just drop a meeting, a 30-minute to an hour meeting on your calendar, and this will help you with your productivity. So the 3 reasons why it's important: time blocking gives you great clarity, because leaders such as ourselves and managers, we're so busy and we lack clarity on the next best thing to be doing if we do not time block. The second reason is we're giving ourselves the permission to focus on that specific task. It sounds silly and counterintuitive. After all, we are the leaders, but we will be able to control our schedule and focus precisely on any issues or any problems that we need to tackle, as well as we're creating boundaries that will allow us to properly focus on our role or our task. And step 3 gives us a sense of control. Time blocking establishes an inner calm, the exact opposite of overwhelming. So for example, in our GME world, we have, onboarding. Okay, so from this time to this time, I'm going to be focused on onboarding. Or, I need to work on graduation details. Okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to block that off so that I can focus solely on graduation details and not just say, I will get to it later, or something kind of fell on and I have to, I can't work on that task. When it comes to just deadlines, GME deadlines, and just like I said, it's just so important to practice time blocking. Give it a try if you haven't already, but it really emphasizes on you're working on this task to ensure that it gets done. Now, the myth of multitasking. I used to be very proud of being a multitasker. Unfortunately, research has states that, contrary to popular belief, it does not make us more productive. In fact, it can hinder our ability to effectively complete tasks. And the let's debunk the myth of multitasking. It's not efficient. When we think of multitasking, we often imagine ourselves juggling multiple tasks simultaneously and believing that this allows us to get more done. However, the research has shown that switching between tasks actually reduces efficiency. Each time we switch tasks, there is a switch cost, a cognitive price we pay in terms of time and mental effort, and this cost accumulates and can significantly slow down our overall productivity. So, for example, let's just say you're working on a project and you have your rhythm going, and then you get distracted, or, somebody needs something. Your rhythm going, or the juices that you have flowing of your creativity, all of a sudden it stops. And now you are tasked to do something else, or maybe you wanted to respond to a quick email. But now for you to get back into the groove, it will take longer. So instead, focus on one task at a time and give it your full attention so that you can complete it, check it off the list, or measure it as being productive, or measure it as almost to completion, and you will get there quicker, faster, without a lot of stress. Something that we tend to forget to do is take regular breaks. While it may seem counterintuitive, taking regular breaks can actually help you be more productive than working without stopping. Effective breaks can help you to reduce your stress levels so that you're ready to refocus when you return to work. And taking breaks while working on projects, could actually just improve the recall of it. And people know breaks are powerful and helpful, but we don't always take them. So let's not wait until our personal battery is drained to take a break, because it's going to take a little bit longer to recoup. Instead, set up the alarm to say, okay, this is going to be my break time. I know sometimes I go for like a coffee break, or just walk for like 5 minutes. And it really does, get number one, it gets your blood flowing because you're not sitting down unless you have a stand-up desk. But it also helps your overall productivity. So definitely try to schedule regular breaks. Learning to say no. Be selective about taking on new tasks and commitments. So saying no can be difficult. I know for a fact it's for me, especially when we want to please others to avoid conflict. But learning to say no is essential to our mental and emotional well-being. When we say yes to everything, we spread ourselves too thin and can become overwhelmed, stressed, and anxious. Saying no allows us to set boundaries and prioritize our needs, which is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and taking care of ourselves. Now, I mean, in a personal token. It also helps us to avoid overcommitting and allows us to focus on what really matters to us. So the next time you feel pressured to say yes to something you don't want to do, remember it's okay to say no. By doing so, you're taking care of yourself and respecting your own boundaries. And also it's focusing on saying no can actually, what I've been told is no is a full answer. It's not like an explanation, it's basically no. And this goes, and this, like I mentioned, it goes into personal. So if you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to do something, it is okay to say no. And there should be no shame in saying that word. It's a powerful word. And at the same time, it's for your own well-being. Delegating tasks. If possible, and I know sometimes we work in teams as program coordinators, it's so important, if possible, to delegate tasks that could be done by others to alleviate your workload. So for example, how to delegate effectively. So before you delegate, what is it that you want to delegate and who you want to delegate it to? And also, do they have the bandwidth to take on that? And then during, explain the task clearly and define the level of delegation. And then after delegation, definitely check in and give feedback. Don't just assume that it's been done or that it's been taken care of without a hitch. Definitely follow up with who you delegate your task to. I know for us program coordinators, a lot of the times it is difficult for us to delegate, but this is just if you do have the opportunity to, it can help with your bandwidth. Now, we review and adjust. So at the end of the day or week, take some time to review your progress and identify what worked well and the areas for improvement. Adjust your strategies according to optimizing your time management skills overall. So for example, daily, I know some journal about what worked for them and what didn't. Weekly, review your notes for patterns of your workflow. And then monthly, swap out any strategies that aren't boosting your productivity. And just find what mechanism works best for you. And that's super important, because if it's not working for you or enhancing your productivity, then something must be off. And it's just like, okay, what will work best for you, what you need to adjust to make sure that you are productive. So productivity, I highlighted how in productivity, time management and to-do lists are a part of that. It's super important to be aware that for us to be productive and to produce well, we need to not only strategize and have a goal, we need to really hone in on time management and have an active to-do list to get the project going or to get our task, get completed. So time management, some people do struggle with it, but don't let time be a barrier because we cannot take it back. Time wasted is time lost. Enhance, work on, and empower yourself to be better at time management and to adhere to your to-do list so that you could be very productive. Takeaways. So takeaways in time management is, once again, it is indeed a crucial skill for maximizing productivity and achieving success in both personal and professional endeavors. Now, at this time, I would like for you to reflect on where you are now. Have you tried any of the methods that I mentioned before? And if not, I would highly suggest that you give it a try and implement the practices that fits right for you and your lifestyle and measure the outcome, because there's a not one size fits all. Some people like paper rather than digital. Some people like to use their calendar or their Google Calendar or their Outlook calendar to have everything all in one place. But once again, the focus of time management is, how do you feel? Are you going to be feeling a little bit more balanced if you're feeling currently overwhelmed? And have you made time for yourself and your wellness, which is when I talked about personal blocking time. I've always been the type to work smarter, not harder. There are many tools that we have that can enhance our time management skills, that can build on to what our routine already is, and how we can be a better performer at our job, or create better outcomes in our personal endeavors, whatever that might be. The quote of productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused efforts. So this is when it comes to time management, the commitment to producing well, the planning component can never be missed. And with that, the focus effort. At this time, I guess I will open for Q&A.
You gave me so much energy. Oh my goodness. I'm over here. I'm like taking down notes. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I am like you. I love to check the boxes. I definitely want to utilize the Eisenhower. So just a little snapshot. I got my little checkbox list, but it's like all one. I love how yours is broken up into quadrants of like long-term projects and things you need to do right away. We did get a question about whether or not they could print that. Do you have that file? Sally found it online, so there's a
Yes,
template online,
yes,
everyone. I did share that in the chat box, but I love your version. If you can share that file in the chat with us, that would be great.
yes, I will. As soon as I know how to get off this mode, I will definitely drop it in on the chat. It's a link. Let me see how I can do this. But let me see. How about, do I have to pause sharing and then reshare again?
Yeah, you can stop sharing unless you have more slides.
No, well, I do, but I just wanted to
Okay.
do the QA really quick, and just see, if anyone has any questions. But yes, I actually found the Eisenhower, and I actually like that you check the box and it just like crosses it out. It's such a good feeling because you feel so accomplished, and that's the goal. The goal is to feel productive, but at the same time produce, productivity, and checking off the deadlines, adhering to the deadlines, being in front of what's to come, not just wait back to say, okay, I'm gonna wait, and then, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that was coming so fast so soon, because time flies in GME.
Yes, absolutely. We do have some questions, so I'll go ahead and read the chat box for you, and we can just throw that in at the end. First question is, are bookings for didactic courses free? Oh, that one's for me. Our didactic courses are completely free, so you can use that tool that I dropped in the chat and schedule it. There will never be a charge for that. Is Trello a free program?
Yes, It's a free program until what it's until I think you if you want more enhancements towards it, then it becomes more of a fee if I'm not mistaken. I know that I use the free version, but then I stopped using it because my project ended.
Gotcha. Trello is an amazing tool. It's actually what we use for our marketing. Anytime I need graphics created from our marketing team, I just submit a ticket and then they assign it to the person on the team that needs to do that. It's incredible. You can track time. You can put checklists within the projects if it's going to be a big project.
Mhm.
So I was excited to hear you recommend that tool because it's one that I really enjoy as well.
So the Trello pricing starts at $5 per user per month, with the more extensive plans costing $10 per user per month and $17.50 per user per month. But there is a free plan available if you don't want to use so many of the tools, but if you want to, or if your organization, finds it and deems it necessary, like that can be paid by them, and then the team can all get involved and get Trello.
Awesome. Next question from Meredith Saki. How often should you take breaks throughout the day aside from a lunch break?
I would suggest two. I would suggest a morning break and then like after lunch, like maybe like a 3 o'clock break. I would suggest that because sometimes we get so boggled into either meetings or working on projects that we might sit idle for the whole day, which is not healthy for us. And so it's very important for us to just get up and just, like I said, either go for a coffee break or get a little snack or just walk for 5 minutes. That a break does not need to be long, but it just needs to happen so that you could be like, okay, I'm ready, and you're recharged.
Yeah, absolutely. Next question is from Jessica. I'm gonna say this. Please forgive me if I get it wrong. Anguiano. Sorry if that's wrong. How do you track your productivity when you reflect? Can you elaborate on that process, please?
How do I track my productivity?
Mhm.
Oh, yes. So on my list, on my to-do list, I have everything listed out as to what I need to do. And I actually love color coding. I love color coding, and basically saying like, okay, like this is pending, this is outstanding, this is done, like checking off the boxes. And then what I do is I ended up rolling it over. So for example, anything that's pending will roll over to the next day. And then that would be my productivity as to, when it's done. Or I even set myself deadlines, which sometimes are a little unrealistic because that's just how I am. But my main goal is to accomplish it as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. I'm not one to just for the sake of submit things. No, I ensure that it is complete, concise, and to the requirement of what it needs. And I for one, I think that there's a saying, funny enough, personally, that a name that I've been called, which is they call me in Spanish, but I'll say it in English, is basically machine Molina, which basically is like you never stop. And even though it's it's something that is like, wow, and this is from an organization that I was a part of, and it's like, wow, like, I was always on the go, 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 nonstop, but at the same time I was draining my battery.
Hmm.
I was not allowing myself to reset, and that's eh, right now at this point in my life, I am working on balance.
Yes.
Working on balance. I'm working on, prioritizing, being better at prioritizing. I think it doesn't come easy. It's something that everybody needs to work on. And but at the end of the day, it's something that is going to be beneficial to you in the long run.
And everyone. I mean, program coordinators have huge jobs, and I feel like you all need to have those boundaries or you will burn out because you have so much to do.
Yes, and that's why we also have the high turnover. But once again, it's knowing your boundaries as well as learning the skill and being productive with your time, which is something that is important. Like, don't be wasteful because you don't know something. Like, be proactive, figure things out, or make it work, make it workable for you.
Very important. We've got quite a few questions here, so I'm going to keep rolling through it. Erica Robinson shares that there is also an app that does this on your phone well, and it is called InkPad. So I believe she's talking about like a substitution for the Eisenhower matrix.
InkPad? I
So
haven't heard of InkPad. Is it from like an iPhone or like I mean, I'm gonna Google it now.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up too. So thank you for that feedback, Erica. Another tool that we can all take a look at. Sally Freeman. All right, I'm gonna peek through here for the ones that are questions. Oh, okay. Erica actually added more. It's a checklist. So once you check the box, there's a line drawn through the item and it's moved down the list. That sounds like something that would be therapeutic for me.
I
I'm the
love
weirdo that like I'll I'll have to do something extra and like I'll do it, but then I'll write it down just so I can mark it off
I do the
because I
same
love
thing.
that.
I do the same thing.
All right, let me clear some of these out. Carolyn says she uses her Outlook calendar. You know, I do that too, just for reminders or to block time to do a project. That is an excellent strategy. One that I noticed that you share the block time is very helpful for me. Are the didactic sessions for residents or program coordinators? Those are for residents, so for your program. Jennifer says Rocketbook is an app. It is something she just started using, and you can digitize your checklists and not worry about losing the paper or checklist. The only cost is purchasing the Rocketbook itself, and it is like the old Franklin planner, but digital. Very good.
Oh, I used the Franklin Planner before. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I have not. So another thing for me to look up. I love these tools. Like as you were talking, I'm like, oh, she's just like me. Ashley Romans has a question, and that is, how do you create a boundary so you can get all of your tasks done without offending anyone? Yeah, I want to hear your advice on this too, because I'm such a people pleaser.
Sure, no problem. So and I'm also a people pleaser. What I have done, and I don't know, on the outside of my door, I have this little circle thing that has different things like welcome, come in, or do not disturb, or in a meeting, or, like it has different options, or vacation. It's something that you can find on Amazon. You could put it outside your door if you have one, or you could put it outside your cubicle. And it's basically a way for anyone stopping by to know where you're at. Like you may be in your office, but you may be busy working on a task. And, how will they know that you're busy and occupied working on something diligently? So I tend to have that up. And I will say I'm in a meeting. Because I do not like to say do not disturb. Yeah, so I'll say I'm in a meeting. And I will I would definitely, and sometimes even then I kind of get distracted at times, but that does help because they will know that I am occupied doing something else. So if they do not have access to my calendar, if they didn't text me beforehand, and if they decide to drop by, they will know that I am preoccupied doing something else and that unfortunately I cannot be in attendance to them. But I do emphasize, like I do have an open door policy. So they know that when my door is closed or I have that nod on, it's because I am busy doing something. And at the same time, when it comes to, it's not about people pleasing, but it's also knowing how to navigate the conversation of, I have some outstanding, or I have hard deadlines that I need to take care of. That's also another segue to kind of say no, but it's basically saying like I have a couple of deadlines I need to take care of, and that will take me about maybe by the end of this week to complete. I'll follow up with you next week to see if you will need, what you need help with, or how I can better assist you in the next few days. So you're communicating with them, what your game plan is and that you're not available, but at the same time, you're also allowing the opportunity to have a conversation and say, like, I'm here to help you. Um, and this is where my bandwidth is right now, because
Yeah,
I think it's fair. I think it's
it
fair.
is.
I know that our programs and like our residents and stuff, they do not know what we do. Only we know what we do. And when we're busy, we're busy. And it's just, articulating, those components with them and hopefully them being receptive and understanding.
Yep, very productive way to communicate that. I like that a lot. All right. And then Tracy Crosby also shared that she has an app on her phone that reminds her to stand up. It's free. You can set the length of the break and the length between the breaks, and it's called Stand Up on iPhone. So just another fun tool. Looks like that's it for questions. There were some comments that were put in the Q&A, so everybody can kind of read through those as you would like. And Melissa, please go ahead and continue.
Yes, okay. So let's connect. This is my social media. I love connecting with other GME coordinators, program administrators, because we need to grow our representation of, the world the GME world. So this is my LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, please connect. I love to collaborate and meet and connect and engage. I'm a part of many other organizations in our world, and I would love to have a conversation if possible. And these are the references, and I don't know if I can touch this one here. This is the Eisenhower matrix. Oh, I couldn't click on it. No, I couldn't. Okay. So I will put it on the chat right now. But yeah, no, time management is it could be challenging, it could be difficult, but it's not impossible. And if you want to, once again, if you want to be proactive and productive, these are the tools. And thank you so much for sharing the other tools, because it's super important for us to learn from each other and because we're all doing the same thing. How can we strive and do better and easier with less hurdles, which is important.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Melissa, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. I truly enjoyed having you on this webinar. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed today's webinar, please be sure to join us for the next one. I did include the link for that in the chat. That is September 3rd. And if you look at the chat box, you will be able to go ahead and register. I will be sending out, again, just make sure everybody knows, I will send out the recording to this webinar along with the link to register for the next one to everyone that registered today. It will also be in my nationwide program coordinator email that is going to go out on Monday.
Question, Ashley. It says
Yes.
for me to host. I sent the links, but does everybody see the link?
I don't see it. You may have put it to panelist and host. You can just
Yeah.
switch that to everyone.
I can't.
Where it says host and panelist, it won't let you click there.
Mm-mm.
Okay, go ahead and put it in the host and panelist, and I can share it to everyone.
Yes. Yeah, it's there. Let me see if I do it.
Here it is. There we go. So actually, that didn't split up very well, did it? All right, everyone, try this again. My technical difficulties today. Okay, so the one I just shared right there, that is the matrix. And then I'm gonna split out Melissa's LinkedIn as well. All right, hopefully everybody got a chance to get the links. If you missed anything, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm gonna hold on to all of those. In fact, let me just copy them all really quick and put them on my notepad. And so I will have those for you. If you need anything, just email me at apashard@practicematch.com. Thanks again, Melissa. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.